for your input as we go along. You're going to get a really rapid introduction into marketing, into copywriting, and into, of course, a website which works. And when you leave here, you'll have a mini MBA into a website which works, I hope. So without further ado, let me introduce myself and get on with the program. So I'm not a typical creative. I'm not a typical, drink some wine and come up with some good ideas kind of person. I actually have an undergraduate and a postgrad in maths, where I graduated cum laude from Wits and from UJ. I spent the last 10 years working in Standard Bank, Raise Corp, Lulaway, in business, in IT, and a whole bunch of different things. I've been published in local and international organizations. And in the last year, I have really taken all my skills, which is scientific, analytical, data-driven, as well as creative and storytelling, and transfer them into a skill set called a conversion copywriter. A conversion copywriter is someone who takes data, takes knowledge, takes science, and turns it into marketing copy which sells. It's not about cute ideas, and it's not about clever puns. It's about what will sell, what will get people to come to your website, buy from your website, open your emails, and in the end, make you money. Okay, so I'm just wondering if I could see everyone at the same time. Okay, so firstly, what is a meeting for? What is a website for? See everyone. Tracy?
Yes.
Well, how can I do it that I can see everyone at the same time?
So it is very difficult. If you're screen sharing, you will only have participants on your right-hand side. So you won't be able to see everyone while you screen share.
Still can't see everyone. Okay, it's really disconcerting talking to a black box, but I'm going to do, oh, there we go. Okay, apologies. So everyone just give me a wave to say that you're here, and thank you for being here. And I know it's like not so great that we can't all talk to each other all the time, but I'm really grateful and I'm glad to meet all of you. So what is a website for? I'm not going to, you all know that in 2021, you need a website. A website does a couple of things. Number one, it generates new leads. So someone's never heard of you, they go onto Google and they find you and they like the look of you and they contact you. The other thing it does, especially in the B2B space, is they've heard of you from their friend, from someone at school, from, a pamphlet, from Facebook, and they don't know if you're the real thing or you're a scam or what you're doing. So they go onto your website and they check you out. They check out your credibility. It's further down the sales pipeline, but it's still really important. The other thing a website does is it tells people what you are. So if you're getting a million inquiries from people who are not right for your business, you're wasting a lot of your time talking to people who are not relevant. So what it does is it qualifies your leads. So it says, this is what I do. This is around how much I cost. This is who I'm right for, and this is who I'm not right for. So a website is very important. However you get new clients into your business, whether most of your clients come via word of mouth, whether most of them come via Google Ads, your website is really your digital storefront on the internet. Okay, so any questions, you can pop them into the chat as you go. Your website can be two things. Number one, it could be someone who talks about himself and how great he is in a very boring way, which is what most websites are. The other thing it can be is somebody who gets people to run to you, to phone you, to fill out that form, and to pay for you. Now, which one would you like better? You can tell me in the chat. Should it be someone who puts you to sleep, or should your website be someone who people run to their door to click on? He's looking, eh? Okay, hands up if it should be the one who for the put you to sleep. No, okay, so everyone gets it. So your website is exceptionally powerful, can be exceptionally powerful, and can provide a huge value to your business. Most of you are here because you realize the power of your website, but you don't know how to turn it into that instrument which is going to get people running to you and phoning you, paying you, and begging you to buy their services. Okay, so the first problem with your website and with any website is that you only have a certain number of seconds to tell people what you do before they go back to Facebook, Instagram, or the news, or, go back to WhatsApp. So anyone want to take a guess how many seconds you have to capture their attention?
30.
30, okay, we got 30. Nice guess.
5.
5, nice, yes. Okay, so we've got 30, we've got 5. Anyone else want to take a guess? I'm asking how many seconds do you have to capture the your visitors on your website before they disappear somewhere else. Okay. So Milton was 100% right. You have 5 seconds to capture your people's attention. Okay, so that's why your hero section, which is really just the top of your page, is so important. I'm going to show you today how to nail that and why most websites don't nail this, not because there's anything wrong with their business, just because they don't understand the fundamentals of copywriting. Okay, so 5 seconds is really short. How do you get around the 5-second rule? Is you have to be super clear, super quick about what you do. It's not about a clever pun. It's not about a cute idea. It's not about some vague, fancy competitor statement which everyone else is using. It's about being really clear about what you do and how you're going to change people's lives. So I like to think of it like this. Can you explain what you do in 5 seconds to your granny or to your 8-year-old daughter? Right? Think about your elevator pitch, which some of you may have heard of. Slash that. This is what do you do and how do you do it and how it will change my life. And you have 5 seconds to do that. If the top of your website doesn't do this, you are losing prospects. If the hero section, which is the part you see first when you load onto a website, isn't doing this, you have lost people. Okay, and I can prove this to you scientifically. Anyone want to take a get, want to try tell me what, okay, you know what, let's do it, everyone. Take out a pen and paper or open a Google Doc and try, while you're listening, see if you can crack this for your own website. So now I've used some hero sections of the people who submitted for a free audit. And I want to ask you if these are clear or not in 5 seconds. Now, this is not a criticism on your website. This is just a learning experience, and you're all here because you want to do better and you want your website to be more compelling. So this is for Admissions Africa. Thank you for the person who submitted this. And it says, a mission-led business bridging the admissions gap between candidates from Africa and business schools. Okay, clear or not in 5 seconds? Yes or no?
That is not clear for me.
Not clear for you. Thank you, Charlene. Who else?
Not clear. I've got to read it twice or 3
You've got
times.
to read it twice. Amazing.
Yes.
What else? Anyone else thinks it's clear or not?
So the general comments in the chat box is that it's not clear enough.
Okay, right.
Too conceptual.
Not exactly. Too conceptual, too vague, too, not clear. Okay, you have 5 seconds. Okay. This is another one. Thank you. I know that OSDN Solutions, your new website, is under construction. So this is just a learning experience. OSDN Solutions, service, experience, satisfaction, building the road for you into the next generation era. Anyone have any idea of what they do?
No.
No
idea.
Right, no idea. Okay. So some of you are trying to, and often in marketing, we want to be clever and we want to have puns and we want to be like really smart. The rule, this is your MBA in marketing, is clear wins clever every time, beats clever every time. If you're going to choose between being clear and being clever, especially online, where you're competing with a million different things, it's not a newspaper where you have a bit of time for people to think. You are going to go with clear every single time. Okay. So now you're going to say to me, how do I make my hero section very clear? So because I love formulas, I'm going to give you a formula, which is the second part of your MBA into marketing. Really struggling with this, Tracy, to find my chat. I'm sorry, everyone. I really want to interact. Okay, here it is. Okay. Oh, okay. No. Okay. So how do you turn your hero section into a clear 5-second argument for what you do? Okay. So I will send everybody the presentation afterwards if they want. But like I said, I love formulas. And this is the UVP 123 formula. Some of you will have heard of the UVP. That's your unique value proposition. And that sounds really fancy. It's a way of saying what you do. Now, it sounds simple to think about what you do, but actually it's not simple. And companies pay hundreds of thousands of rands to try to figure this out. You can only be clear about what you do to your potential client and potential customers when you are clear about what you do. So the 123 formula goes like this. Who do you help? What do you help them achieve? And how do you do it? Okay, anyone want to give me an example in the chat and we can all learn from that? You can take your business and try write down, and it's not going to be perfect, and it's going to be a first draft. Like I said, the clients I work with, they pay a lot of money to try and nail down this UVP and really, solidify and clarify to a very simple idea about what you do. So in the chat, if you want to kind of take a chance and try with your business, tell me who do you help? What do you help them achieve? And how do you do it? Okay, can I pick on someone? Was anyone feeling brave? Okay. Who's picking their hand up and feeling brave? No one.
Quiet.
Sybil's got her hand up.
Sybil, okay, great. Sybil, who do you help?
So I help people with a monkey mind. I help them to calm down nervous system and achieve clarity. And I do that by offering them time to think.
Okay, it's a great start. I have no idea what you do. Let's try again. Who do you help? People. I'm going to write in the chat as we go along. I help people.
Can I go again? Can I try again?
Yes.
I help people suffering from anxiety and self-doubt.
Yes.
I help them to think clearly, to calm down the nervous system and think clearly. And
Then,
how do I do it? By teaching them and applying time to think coaching with them.
okay, so do you hear? That's a great start. It's not fancy, it's not clever, but now I have an idea of what you do. If I'm a little bit anxious, overwhelmed, I know that Sybil will have some kind of program to help me. Okay, and I hear Manda Zuma saying, giving township businesses an online presence, helping them be business compliant and access to market. Okay, Manda, that's great. What will happen? What we're missing is that final step. What will they achieve once they have used your services? They'll have an online presence, they'll be compliant, they'll have access to market. What else will be there? What else will happen? We're talking about the dream state, right? They'll grow their revenue, have more money, right? So that's a great thing of what you do and who you do it for. And now we want to know what you help them achieve. And what you help them achieve isn't the online presence. You are selling them their future self. So this is kind of my favorite saying in copywriting, is I'm not selling a child a cape. I'm selling him himself as Superman, right? The cape is the how, but we're selling him this image of himself as Superman. Okay. So Charlene, that's great. So let's just do one more here. Charlene says, I help people with hearing problems, give them a solution so they can remain in touch with the people and the world around them. Charlene, that's incredible, right? It's not about the hearing aid. The hearing aid is a tool for them to stay in touch and be connected to the world around them, which is a much more powerful driver than saying, I'm giving you a hearing aid. Okay, so this is really your MBA marketing, but this is what we'll start thinking about this. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go through the chat. I know it's a little bit annoying. Okay, so Eliana Cline says she helps executive teams improve their performance and transfer skills. Great. So Eliana, the question would be, how do you do that, right? How do you do that in a way which is different to everyone else? Okay, Lorna says, my husband has people who need gate motors with no obligation free quotes. Okay, so your no obligation free quotes is a feature. It wouldn't really be part of your UVP, but that's great. I help people who need gate motors or maintaining their ones with excellent high quality services. It's not easy to nail down your messaging. As you can see, I can't do this for all of you in the chat, but start thinking about this, simplify your messaging with the UVP 123 formula. And once you have an idea of that, you want to put that into your hero section. Okay, so I've given a few examples here. Pool maintenance service. We help homeowners.
Eliana, sorry, can I just interrupt?
Yes.
The 5 seconds, how many words is that?
Okay, so Charlene, that's a great question. You want to try keep it short, but you don't want to sacrifice clarity. So when you're working with a conversion copywriter like myself, we have exact numbers we aim for, and we have targets we go for and stuff like that. You want to keep it short if you can. You want to say as much as you can, which people need to make a decision in as short time as possible. So there's no rule. There's no rule. And sometimes you'll need more words and sometimes you'll need less words. So it's a great question. And it's something we work with all the time as conversion copywriter. We take these like big concepts, these big ideas, and we whittle them down to really accurate, laser sharp messaging. So if you look here, I've given some examples. We help. So I was Googling for a pool maintenance service for a client. And I wrote here, we help homeowners, that's who, have an always sparkling pool. That's the outcome. That's the dream state. That's what's bugging them. Every day they go outside and they see that green pool and they just like, this is disgusting. What I help and how do I help them do it? With weekly pool maintenance by a reliable team with over 40 years experience. So it's not that I help pool owners have weekly pool maintenance. They don't care about that. What they want is their dream state. They want that always sparkling pool to impress all their neighbors. Okay, now this is my UVP. I help businesses attract more leads and close more sales with strategic, data-driven website copywriting and brand strategy. Okay, so that's me. Here is another one for another kind of company which helps universities improve, help students. We help students, that's the who. What do we help them do? Improve their English skills so they can enter university. And how do we do it through individual online lessons? Okay, so it's not about a number of words, it's not about clever, it's not about fancy jargon, it's about saying what you do, nailing your messaging down in a really clear way and showing people their dream state, their future. So for Charlene's was such an awesome example. She started by saying that she provides hearing aids, but hearing aids are really a tool for somebody who's feeling so disconnected from the world. They can't listen to their grandchildren, they can't go to a party, they can't be at a restaurant. We're helping them engage with the world and connect with the world through individualized and tailored assessments and treatment plans. Is that right, Charlene? Okay, so it's your UVP 1, 2, 3 formula. And wherever you are in your business, knowing this is the beginning of all effective marketing. Okay.
We have a question before you continue. We have a question that Dana would like to ask. Her hand is raised.
Yes, sorry, I'm trying to keep up with everything at the same time. Eliana, I'm listening.
Sorry, my hand was raised from before, Trace. No worries.
No worries. Okay. So like I said, this is like an MBA, your mini MBA in marketing, but now you're going to go to every website and you're going to be judging them and you're going to see that most people don't get this right just because they don't know, right? And your website is the place where your clarity has to come through. So it's not about clever puns and it's not about like cute ideas and it's not about fancy words. It's about saying what you do in a very clear way. So I went onto the internet and I found another pool section, pool maintenance company, which as you can see is not really a very fancy design. It's actually really quite average or below average, but I can tell instantly what this company does. It's weekly pool maintenance. They have a lot of experience. They have staff and I can tell the cost. Obviously, different industries, it depends where you put the cost. But can you see how clear this is? I know exactly who they are. Okay. So that's your hero section. And each of you now who submitted your website, go onto your hero section and tell me if you think it is clear or it's unclear. And okay, so that is your UVP 1, 2, 3. What you do, who you do it for, and how do you do it? Anyone else want to take a bash at theirs in the chat? Because I love this interaction. Yes or no?
Eliana, can I ask a question? It's Eliana.
Yes.
Normally when you do UVP and you're consulting, which I do, you first start with understanding who your customer is, because the whole idea of being who do you help and clever, you also got to speak the language of the person who's reading it. So I just wondered your thoughts on.
So Eliana, you're talking about something which is so important. As a copywriter, we spend half our time doing research to understand what people do and what people talk about, what their pain points are. And we call it something called voice of customer and using the language which is important to them. 100%. Like I said, this is just an hour presentation, and I can't, do all that. But Eliana is so right. If your customers use certain words, use their words. And normally they use simpler words than we think. The jargon and stuff like that is one we keep away with. And yes, that's why I'm saying we spend hours and hours and hours trying to nail down this UVP, understanding our clients, understanding their research. So Eliana,
sorry.
Yes.
Hello, sorry to interrupt. Can I ask?
Yes.
Please. I'm dealing with tenants. So their dream is, long-term maybe to be homeowners, and it's very difficult. How do you limit that dream and what should one do to make it good?
Okay, so that's a great question. Everyone's got dreams, to own a mansion in, I don't know, an island or stuff like that. It's the dream which is related to your product. So now they're renting and they want a seamless rental experience, right? Or they want someone who they can trust. It's about the dream related to your product. So if they could press a button and go fast forward and their problem would be solved, we love to call it the 2 a.m. problem. I'm sure Eliana will understand this. Related to your product, what are they lying in bed at 2 a.m. and worrying about? Or some people call it the Monday morning problem. Every Monday morning, the problem comes up again, the same problem. So let me give you an example. In my life, anyone want to help me with a 2 a.m. problem in your personal or professional life? Right, you can all think of this, and that's, you got to find the 2 a.m. problem which relates to your product. Okay, so your pool problem is every single Friday afternoon. A man comes home from work, a businessman, and he wants to just like sit by his pool having a whiskey, and his pool is green, and he doesn't feel like getting up and going and getting, you know, the broom, and he doesn't know how to do it, and he's frustrated and he's annoyed, and then his friends come over on Saturday and he's embarrassed, right? So it's the 2 a.m. problem which relates to your product. Okay, so you can't solve every problem. Makes sense? Okay, so let's move on to the next one, which is, okay. The next thing you want to do.
Oh,
yes.
I just,
one more question.
Sorry, I've just put in my website, whatever, at the top thing of my website about CVs and what, okay. So
yes, okay, wouldn't you like to be noticed by recruiters? That's
a better
great.
chance.
That's great. And we can talk about that afterwards, but that's very specific. I can tell who it's for people who want to be noticed by recruiters, right? Very clear. And you're going to make me an amazing CV for your next interview, right? You could even make it stronger by saying like land your dream interview or something like that, but it will, but that's a really strong value proposition because I know exactly what you do and who you're talking to. If I noticed by recruiters, okay, that's really, that's a great start. So obviously as a copywriter, we like, once we have that, we like really try ramp it up or bump it up or use creativity. But if your hero section on your website says that you are 100 million steps ahead of the game. Okay, so point, time to toot your own horn. People want to trust you. They want to believe that they're making a smart decision. What you need to do is show them you are trustworthy. So the first thing you want to do is put testimonials on your website. You do not want to hide your testimonials. I'll just go to the next page. I'll actually skip one. You want to show them that you are trustworthy. You want to display this in a big way. You want to highlight this. You don't want to hide it. So anything you do, you can prove that you are trustworthy, you want to put it on your website. You are part of a professional organization. If you have been featured in a magazine, a lot of websites I see have logos of companies they've worked for. That is a great start, but it is not enough today. It is not enough because there's so much more to you than the companies you've worked for, right? Maybe you have so much experience. Maybe all your people have done these courses. Maybe you're part of this professional organization. Maybe you've been invited to speak at different places. You really want to put those on your front page. You don't want to hide them in your about page, in your testimonial page. You want to put them front and center because that proves that you are good at what you do and people can trust you. And people want to trust you, right? There's a saying in copywriting and marketing is that people are looking for reasons to trust you. They're looking for reasons to make those decisions. There's so many different, we call it social proof. And in the industry, it can be money you've saved. If you're an accounting firm and you've saved this money for this client, if you've a digital marketing firm and you've helped them increase this amount of sales, you want to really get into the nitty-gritty of what you've done for people and prove that you are valuable. If you're a company who has reviews on Google, on Amazon and stuff like that, screenshot them, copy them, paste them, put them onto your website. Okay, that is who you are. That is your social proof. That is the reputation you've built up. It's so much more credible to see a review from somebody than to say, we have an amazing reputation. Anyone can say, I have an amazing reputation. Show me that you have an amazing reputation. Testimonials are gold, but testimonials aren't, I love, Charlene, she's such a nice person. We know Charlene's a nice person. Testimonials are, how did this person change my life? I couldn't hear. I went to 5 different audiologists. None of them could get it right. Charlene fitted me with the perfect hearing aid at the perfect price, and now my life has changed. How did they change my life? And you want to get these all the time. Like I said, this is like a huge part of copywriting, and we present them in the right way. But as a start getting those testimonials, getting the right ones, and putting them front and center. People buy from people they trust. And anyone can say anything about them, but show them that you are something valuable. When we're talking in the B2B world, if anyone's in the B2B world, we use a lot of case studies, a lot of shortened case studies, a lot of metrics, which are relevant to your audience. So let me give you an example. Okay, Okay, any questions on this? Any comments on this? This is a huge topic, as with everything is. Okay, in my line, we're limited by the POPI Act. Okay, everything can be addressed. My audience is very broad. I want to just go and scroll up here.
I think, sorry, Eliana.
Yes.
I think you did right, because people aren't always interested in how long the company's been going. They want to know, they want to hear from others that have had wonderful experiences.
Okay. No one cares how long your companies have been going. We're going to go into the next section. They care about what you can do for them. What can you do for them? That's the next section. Okay. So how else can we just have some examples in the chat of how you in your industry can prove your I'll call it social proof. But your testimony.
Hi, Eliana.
Yes.
Sorry, it's Monday. I raised my hand like 2 slides ago. Can I just quickly ask a question?
Yes.
So you were, for example, talking about that hero section on the website. Where would then a landing page fit in? Because I'm trying to think, if I'm running ads and stuff, I would be redirecting people to a landing page, and would it still be the same principle?
Same principle. Just to clarify for everyone, a landing page is a specific page which you'd normally get directed to from a Google ad or a Facebook ad, and it's got one goal, which is to gather leads. And landing pages can be part of a website or separate to a website. It has to follow the exact same principles. You have 5 seconds to capture their attention, and we want to match it to the message where they came from. I run a lot of landing pages for clients. They've got their own, they don't have their own formula. They're a specific form of a website, and they're very targeted. They're very strategic, and they focused on the person who you've captured in the sales funnel, and they have to follow the exact same principles. Okay. Is that clear? Wasn't so clear, because landing pages are whole science in themselves, but actually websites and landing pages are my specialty. Okay, so like I said all over, here's a map. Do not bury your testimonials. Do not make a page called testimonials. Why? Because you've got 5 seconds, maybe you have 10 seconds, maybe you have 30 seconds. No one is going to get to that page. You want them to back up your claim on the front page strategically. Okay, so put them wherever you want to put them, but put them on your front page. Okay, so this is really the final and maybe the most important part of your website and all marketing. And this is the sad, sad truth, is that no one cares about you. They don't care about your vision. They don't care about your mission. They don't care about your beliefs. What do they care about? Now, who wants to guess what they care about?
Themselves. What's in it for me?
What's in it for me? Exactly. What else do they care about?
What I can do to help them.
Right. How they can help you, right?
No, how I can help them.
How you can help them. Benefits, right? What kind of benefits? What does benefits mean? Let's talk about benefits.
Okay. Sorry. There we go.
Will it make a difference to life? Time saving, money making. Yes, these are amazing. Okay, so benefits, that's what people care about, right? Oh, sorry, Ruby. Yes.
I was just going to say benefits could be, what are they saving from choosing your product over somebody else's? Is it money? Is it time? Is it
so what are the benefits? What are the benefits of your product? Pop it into the chat. Your long-term benefits or your short-term benefits, which isn't the fact that you are kind or that you're a nice person. Health, okay? Right, that's a long-term. Think about your product and pop in the chat what the benefit. Long-term, emotional, short-term, physical, letting go of self-doubt. Okay, that's the kind of a negative benefit. If I let go of self-doubt, what will my life look like? Self-care is not a benefit. Self-love, emotional, no. What will my life look like if I love myself? Okay, Jenny, I have an interview. What will that mean? I don't want to interview. What do I want? Okay,
a job.
Right, a job.
Yeah.
I want a career which is which is stimulating, which is enjoyable. Okay. Okay. Romy says faster development. Great. Why do you want faster development? What's it going to help? What's it going to help? It's going to get projects pulled out on time. Okay. Everyone's zooming in here. Okay. I'm going to try meet business goals on time within budget. Yes, Romy, exactly. You want meeting budgets is a huge thing in your industry. A huge UVP. If you can guarantee that or somewhat guarantee that, And Romy knows this because she knows her audience really well. She's spoken to them and she's done a ton of research. Okay, Charlene says, remaining independent, having friends, in touch with grandkids. Yes, when you can hear properly, you can live a full life. Charlene, that's amazing. Okay, to be confident. Okay, right, and nailing down on these benefits really goes into your UVP, your brand messaging, your brand strategy, which is what I do with my clients. About a word of copy. It's all about understanding what people really want and showing them how your product can help get you there. Okay, value and quality over just price. Not sure that that's relevant. Security. Who's Lorna? Okay. Okay. So what is the pool guy? Let's talk about the pool guy. He wants a pool he can be proud of, right? He wants to feel like a king in his house. He wants to be able to have his kids over and they can swim, or his grandkids over. Okay, so he needs his pool done. But he doesn't really. It's not about his pool. It's about the emotional benefit. Okay, anyone else want to pop in about benefits?
So, Eliana?
Yes.
Eliana again.
Yes.
Just wondering, I've got quite a strong thought on that. I mean, this statement, no one cares about you. I think if I were to frame it like this, would you agree with that? It is important to create an understanding of what the experience will be like, especially if you're selling a service and not a product. In other words, it's less tangible and it's more about the process of engagement.
Yes.
I think what people do care about is how they're going to experience you. I think in the modern world, especially in business, there are so many replications. So even though I hear what you're saying and I agree with you about clarity, etc., once you tell people, you're going to, even just for me, like, take something as tangible as the hearing aid. I mean, if that particular audiologist or speech and hearing therapist offers something like a very warm, a very person-centered, I think those kind of things definitely, in my experience, would be something I'd struggle to let go of in my website. I just think that it is a human being engaging with your website, and it is important for me to about you, but it is important to evoke for me, and I wonder how you feel, some sort of connection to you, especially if it's a service.
Okay, so Eliana, what you're saying is an amazing question. This is a very tongue-in-cheek statement. Of course they care about you. What I'm saying to you is the way you're going to hook them in and keep them there is by showing how you're going to help their life and then proving why you're the right person to do it. Now, Eliana, if I'm understanding, you are a personal brand, which means you are selling yourself, which means your story, your experience, your process is so important. And that is part of your sales journey. Am I right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. For a person who's coming to fix my pool, I don't really care who they are. So it really depends on your industry and knowing your customer and how they make decisions. So as a copywriter, half my work is research, understanding how people make decisions. So it really depends on the industry. Eliana, you work on a very executive level, big decisions, as opposed to someone shopping around for a plumber. So it really depends on how people make decisions in your industry. And for your industry, your personal story is so important and so valuable. For Charlene's industry with the hearing aids, she would have to do research and say, what do people care about? And ask them, what is important to them? Is it the fact that you're warm? Is it the fact that you're affordable? Is it the fact that you are accessible? And Eliana's really touching on something called customer research and knowing your customer, which I can't do for you in an hour, but knowing the better you know your customer, the better you listen to your customer, the better your copy will be and the better your sales will be. And Eliana knows that in her industry, it's so saturated and she has to stand out. And she brings with her decades of experience and not showing that it can be useful. But Eliana, it's always about you, how working with Eliana and her amazing experience will benefit my life. So it's you, but it's your story, but always goes back to the customer. Does that make sense?
Perfect. Love the frame. Thank you.
It's a tricky one, but with a personal...
If you're looking for a healthcare worker, it is unethical, according to Health Professions Council, to say personal things like you are friendly, you are warm. So if it's not on the website, that's the reason.
So obviously it depends on your industry, on your different regulations, and those are very important that you stay legally compliant. Okay, why I say no one cares about you is because when you go into most websites, there's this kind of antiquated belief that you need to write about my vision, my mission, and my beliefs. I want to move away from that because you have a very short amount on the website, and please believe me, no one cares yet about your vision, mission, and beliefs unless you're an NGO they want to donate to. Okay, so Start looking at your copy and your website through the eyes of your customer. What's in it for me? Stop screaming about yourself. Stop telling them about your experience, your passion, your dedication, your, you. Tell me what's in it for me. So here's an example. Okay. You can take copy paste onto Excel, onto Word, and look on your website for every we, me, and I, and change it to focus on the customer. This is much harder said than done. And this is a huge amount of what I do as a copywriter, is to weave in the story of the product, the story of the owner, the story of the entrepreneur into a you-centered messaging. Okay, so hunt down the our messaging. And here is 2 examples, which I just pulled up off the internet today. So here's someone. We are experienced in installing solar heaters. Okay. Compare that to you get an experienced team that has installed thousands of solar heaters. This means your solar geyser is installed properly and works from day one. So I'm not discounting the experience, but I'm showing you what the experience will mean for the life of the customer. Do you see the stronger messaging there? Okay. I went onto another website and I just pulled this off. Because we value our clients, we want them to be satisfied with our services. We're committed to hard work and efficient services. We are proud of our team and our accomplishments. We. Change it to your satisfaction is all that counts. Your customer service rep will answer emails within 2 hours, resolve guarantees within 24 hours. We have 37 happy clients and you can join them. Okay, so we're just changing it about what the person is going to get out of it and what it means to them. Does this make sense? It's a totally different way of looking at copy, and this is the foundation of all good copywriting, as well as all good marketing, because copywriting is just marketing for sales. Okay. I help people suffer. Okay, Sybil says, I help people suffering from self-doubt and imposter syndrome to generate high-quality thinking. Okay, so Sybil, that is a great improvement. I would challenge you on high-quality thinking, because I don't know anyone who woke up in the middle of the night and said, I need high-quality thinking. Okay, you've got to use the word, Eliana said, of what your customers are using.
Yeah, that's too, yeah.
Okay, so what Sybil is highlighting, which is really important, is there's jargon which you use in your industry, which your clients may or may not know, if it's the jargon they use. So for Romy, who works in the IT space, her clients all use IT jargon and they know that jargon. So use that jargon. But high quality thinking, just ask yourself, did anyone wake up in the middle of the night and say, I need to generate high quality thinking? Yes or no?
And in independent thinking?
You need to listen to your customers and see what they say. What do they want?
You need to think straight. They don't need to, yeah, okay, thank you.
Did they tell you, I need to think straight?
They need to focus and think clearly and have clarity maybe more.
Okay. So your UVP and your UVP is not a simple thing. It doesn't happen overnight, but start thinking about it. And the more clarity you have, the more clarity will come through your website and in all your sales calls. Right? This UVP process is the foundation of any successful business, for marketing, for strategy, for branding, for development, for sales. So it's not something specific to copywriting, but as copywriters, it's what we do. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else here. Okay, so summary. Clear over clever. Okay, clear over clever. Look at other people's websites. Don't try, summarize everything within 2 words. Don't use fancy words which no one understands. What do you do? Who do you do it for? And how's it going to change their life? And how's it going to do it for them? Okay. Toot your own horn. This is not the time to be shy. Use everything you've done for people, but cleverly, right? Show me your experience. Show me this result you've gotten for people. Show me testimonials as one part of this. Anyone want to help me out with any other things in your industry, in your business, which could be good social proof? Right, so Lorna, you could tell me that you've installed 650 gates, that you have 650 happy customers, okay? Exactly what I tried. Yes, Jenny, exactly. You branding people. That's exactly what you're doing. They need a UVP. Okay, I'm just looking up here. Okay, there's so many ways that this kind of turns out, especially, okay, save clients 40 to 60% on their current spend. Sean, that is amazing. You want to be highlighting that and broadcasting that throughout your website. That is huge. Okay, testimonials can be they can be from anyone. Mostly from clients, but it really depends. If you're somebody who's trying to show that you're an expert in your industry, then somebody who is a colleague or senior can also give you a testimonial. Okay, Teddy, we help you take back your time. Okay, focus on the daily tasks that are holding you back. Still too vague, not specific enough for me. Not quite, and still don't know what you do. Minded for business compliance? Yes, that is so specific. You see how specific we're getting? Our favorite thing in copywriting and marketing sales is specific. The more specific you are, okay, so you're a virtual PA. Okay, amazing. Right, so back from what? From building your business, from focusing on your clients, from sales. You want to get really specific into that, and it takes some time to get there. Okay. Sure, and that's an amazing one. The more you can prove that, the better. Right? You want to put case studies on your website, mini case studies, testimonials from people from big companies saying that you have done that. And if you're not doing that, that's your gold, which you're not leveraging.
But can I please ask, isn't it best to show some humility and give the respect to the founder of the company rather than, what you've done? And because you say you've got to kill the I. So if one just, speaks about oneself only, it's definitely the I, not the we. Or
okay.
not the we, it's not the you. It's not addressing the customer.
Okay, that's such a great question. The reason we're showing you what we've done for other people is because that's what's possible for you. So it's this balance of proving that you are reliable and focusing on the customer. So I don't care that you do 100 sit-ups in 2 minutes. I want to show you that I am the right person by proving that I've done this for other people. And you can also have this. And that's what a clever testimonial does, is it proves, it shows the other people what's possible for them. So it really is for their benefit. It's in their eyes. What do they care about? Does that make sense? So it's not about being humble, and it's not about killing every eye. It's about looking at it from the customer, from you. Your testimonials work for you. Jenny, yes, your testimonials are probably going to be the most important thing in your sales process.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so kill that.
See, David has raised a hand.
Yes?
David has raised a hand.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm listening, David.
Hi to everyone. Okay, so I just wanted to ask, when you're doing business to business with your website, not to individuals, and online commercial sales. So we have 3 different websites. One of them is a quoting tool, trying to show all the products that we do to assist hoteliers or chefs to make up a list for their buffet. So it goes through all the sections and they can put a wish list together, and it's a request, like an RFQ website.
Yes.
Request for quote. So they can capture all the items and we get mailed that list of items and that we know what to do. The other one is we try to sell online. So that's got the commercial, that one is called Chef Shop, and that's got the commercial that you can go on and buy, like a chef knife or something like that. But we're against heavy competition with the likes of Yappy Chef and all the big online merchants like Takealot.
Yes.
And the third one is an informative one where we have got a product which is directed to show with the COVID situation how you can serve hot food and keep it in holding cabinets. Now, my question is always to get people to come to the site from around the world. In other words, I'll give you an example. I had a guy in Norway who bought 10 kilos of chocolate from me in South Africa, which just makes no sense. So my SEO, something is going wrong because it's attracting customers from Europe practically, which I can't deliver to in that particular case.
Okay.
So my question revolves 3 things. One is the split, the business to business, split. How do you get businesses to go and find your site, the SEO? How do you get that right? That you rank high up and that the people, you can have the most brilliant website, but if no one knows you're there, your history.
Yes. So okay. So that's a great question. You can have the most brilliant website, if no one knows you there, you're not going to do anything. This is now part of your sales strategy or your digital marketing strategy, and you generally work with, or I work with, if clients want, an SEO specialist and who will help rank your website for the specific keywords and specific locations. That is someone, well, you'll have to pay, but that really forms part of like your whole digital marketing strategy. I never ever like recommend things by themselves, like go fix your SEO. It's looking at your whole sales funnel, where people falling off, where they're sticking, how do people make decisions in your business, what is the goal of your website. You have different goals for your different websites, and then plugging in SEO, Facebook advertising, Google advertising, email marketing, LinkedIn marketing into your whole strategy. Okay, but SEO is a specialization which some digital marketings do, or you can get digital marketing SEO specialists, and I can refer you to some afterwards.
All right, thank you.
Okay, any more questions? Okay, so anyone? Okay, so we've done much more than I realized that we would do in a short amount of time. So clear, toot your own horn, and kill the eye. And for your own, on every single website you go to, do the test. Within 5 seconds, do you know what they do, how they do it, and who they do it for, and how it'll change my life? Don't be shocked when 95 of them will be no. The reason is that because this is a strategic kind of copywriting marketing approach as opposed to a design first approach, as opposed to getting a pretty picture out there. And the combination of strategy, copywriting, and your pretty design will give you the best result in the long term. Interestingly enough, as a scientist and a mathematician, when it comes to effectiveness of your website, is your copywriting holds more power than your design. So it's better to have a more powerful copy, which is more powerful copywriting with average design, than a stunning design with a vague, unclear website. And that's just the research, not me making it up, even though this is my industry. Okay, so the next steps is now you can take over the world. If you want to contact me, I do website copywriting, email strategy and copywriting. I write LinkedIn profiles as well as other marketing brochures. My focus is B2B as well as digital courses. I do a little bit of B2C, not that much. And I do emails and LinkedIn and other marketing. I do have a special running till the end of the month for people who've been in this webinar. You can contact me till if you want to know more about that. Any more questions? I'm looking at the chat. Does anyone want to give their UVP another bash now that we've gotten to the end of it and people can vote?
Can we do more of it? That's my question.
Eliana?
Yes.
It's Monday here. I just want to ask, are you done with the presentation?
Yes, I'm done with the presentation. I'll take any questions or any comments in the chat. Okay. Or in the
Can you give us more details about your special, Eliana?
So my special is I'm currently not taking clients until the 1st of June, but if you book and pay this month 50%, you can have my current rates. My rates are going up at the beginning of June, and I'm booked out till the beginning of June, but I will honor my rates for now for people who are interested in that.
Eliana, let me ask my question, Eliana.
Yes.
Thanks for the presentation, but I noticed that it was more on the copywriting, which I know that I lack in. But besides, so in terms of how can one improve when it comes to copywriting, because it is a skill on its own. So how can one improve the other elements, in making an online or an e-commerce store to be great, or for one to have sales? I think it was David, for example, mentioned his frustration to say he was getting clients from outside, and one would say it's more around the SEO. So can you just touch about, if one has that great copywriting, is there anything else that we can do to improve sales on our website? I know design, for example, also plays a huge factor. So just your thoughts over and above the copywriting.
Okay. So Manda, you've touched on such an important point. Copywriting is one form of your sales funnel. So we kind of, if you look at a funnel like this, we get people in, and copywriting, we keep them in and we push them through. Every single different industry and different B2C, B2B has a different sales funnel. And the first part would be to map out your sales funnel, understand where the holes are and where you should plug into. So sometimes it would be, starting with SEO. Sometimes it would be start with redoing your website. It really depends on analyzing your current sales funnel, defining a strategy and then doing that. So it's never about, plugging in SEO, plugging in copywriting, or plugging in Facebook ads. It's about defining your strategy, understanding your audience, and then building an implementation plan around that. Does that make sense? Right. So sales are lead generation specialists. You need to look at your sales funnel and analytics. Right. So it really very much depends on your sales funnel, your industry, how people make decisions. In a lot of industries, design isn't that important. E-commerce is very important. There's so many different things about how people make decisions. And that's why as a copywriter, I spend 50% of my time doing research. I interview clients, I interview potential clients, I'm on Amazon, I look at Google Analytics, I look at heat maps, and I understand how people make decisions in your industry. And in some industries, a website is really irrelevant, right? And say like the diamond industry or in the construction industry, right? For some of those people, it's all about word of mouth and reputation. And it's really about knowing your customer and your customer base. Okay, so I am going to.
So you have.
Tracy?
Sorry, Eliana. No, continue.
I'm going to go through all the emails, which are the websites I got, and pick one out, which is going to get the audit. And I will email you that tomorrow, the notification. You're going to get a video audit with some suggestions and some recommendations. And for the rest of you, you're welcome to email me if you want some advice or you want to find out about my services. It's been so great to be here. Now you have a mini MBA in copywriting and marketing, right?
So, Eliana, thank you so much. And the audience is